they need them to be digitally input. And so I'm going to help them as much as I can. If they tell me, I guess I have to show up in person. But even if you type for that, it'll be appreciated because they're getting all these hand typed or sent in or all of this type of research in UFO information. So we're forming this UFO association to help people that do archiving and researching and collecting, and Ahmad's one of those, and so is Ken. Ken does archiving. So there's researching of newspapers in libraries and in city morgues, but it's mainly if you have any kind of ability to or interest in UFOs. There's not just going and looking for sightings, because there's so much history already on the planet. So that Project 1947 is still in process, and it will be ongoing. It's not like it just quits. So the U.S. Air Force Historical Research at Maxwell Air Force Base in Alabama, and the National Archive and Records in Washington, D.C., and Records in St. Louis are the centers for the USA. And so there's a lot of work to do. So I guess people don't like to talk about work and when it's volunteering for it, Ahmad. You know what I mean?
Well, it's hard to get people to volunteer their time.
I know it. It is. It is, and it's getting even harder because there's so much to do now in cyberspace. Do you play any games, Ahmad?
Uh-huh.
Do you play any games on the computer?
Computer? No, I don't have time to.
Okay.
I don't ever have time to do that stuff. I'm always busy working on something.
Yeah, and most people are. I'm typing this in. I bet you can hear me, but I'm changing the name of it. I just put a look at UFO Association filers and researchers. I think you should call it X-filers. I'm going to do it. I'm going to put X-filers there and researchers. Okay.
I'm typing away too.
Are you? But you can hear me okay, or am I too far away from the mic?
No, I hear you. All
right.
You're blinking out a little bit. I don't know if that's me or you.
I'm fading out?
You're blanking out a little bit, and I don't know if it's me or you, though.
Oh. Well, I shouldn't have moved. I was trying to get closer. I'll leave it alone. I don't understand when you touch things electronically. Is this like my phone? My cell phone, when I get it close to my heart, it fades out. So I don't know what that's about. Well, Ahmad, I don't know. Is the energy just down because everybody's busy and it's hard to get everybody to work together? And radio shows are usually easy, folks, especially those that aren't talking. It's the ones out there listening. So, if you want to come on, let us know because a lot of people, it's Thursday. It must be a very busy Thursday. I don't know what comes on TV, but, we have been doing UFOs, and there's another aspect of that we're doing with the ACO Association. That's more integrative medicine and consciousness and Ascension Age and ancient investigators and telling stories of what we do and how we can do it better together. It's I said we'll share a take on armchair philosophy discussion on who's who in the Center for UFO Studies. I thought they were going to come on and talk about the people, but they've just got too much filing to do. So they're in Chicago, and we need teams. We've got teams that go and do things based on the area they're in. Ahmad's in Georgia, but there's really you do Valdosta, but you're not trying to collect UFO files, are you?
No, I'm interested in them, and I read quite a bit about them.
Well, I heard people were going to an hour instead of 2 hours. I don't know if that's true or not. I heard, I think you mentioned to me that this company was going to cut back an hour make double the price and cut back on the time, but I haven't researched it. to see.
I just passed you what I was told, that they were going for 2 hours a day up to $99.
Interesting.
But
Well,
I
so
mean, that's just what somebody told me. I don't know.
yeah, $50 an hour. Well, I pay $50 a month right now for my transfer of files, and another $50 somewhere else, and 16. So I believe what's happening is all these companies I work with are upping their prices, because $100 going up, folks, to do this, just so you can hear them based on podcasting. But podcasting's become a very important part of our cyberspace experience, and so people just don't want to hear. Talk shows have been around forever, and I've got a lot of topics I'd like to talk about and get people to help us, because we're meeting in person, and we're doing this weekend in Knoxville, the ALIEN XPO, and when Ken gets in, he'll start talking about that, so I can wait on that. Ahmed, don't let me get off this time without mentioning the expo in Knoxville. It's, I believe, at the Knoxville Center. I'll have to look it up, or you can, Ahmed, if you can pull up. Can you pull up another screen while I'm talking? Are you on yours? Because I really.
I got several things going right now. I'm writing.
Oh, you are? Okay, so you're writing. What are you writing? Since you're a writer, writers write.
A book.
Well, tell me about it.
I'm working on a book about colonization of Mars. I mean, I really can't go into anything else. Well, yeah, it's science fiction. It's we're not colonizing Mars. I mean, we will one day.
You're going to be another Philip K. Dick. You're going to do science fiction.
I hope I can sell half as many books as he has.
How many does he have?
Oh, I got no clue.
But I love the movies they made of them. So, there's so much with this UFO Association and experiencing transparency. And I've learned that a lot of our military, our veterans that are really volunteering their time, they don't get enough credit. And that's what last week was all about, folks, was people that really do the hard work that our world is not paying attention to. And that's the archivist. And, cyberspace is all about getting the information, but we're basically running on gaming and call centers. And America is best known as a service industry, and we farmed out a lot of that to other countries. So, Mad, I guess let's talk about something that is productive. Since the UFO Association filers and researchers aren't showing up tonight, that's okay, folks, because Ahmad's quick to think about writing a book. He is part of our authors book club, and he's also a poet. So what he's learned to do by himself sometimes, he devotes his first hour at least on Monday nights to his writing skills and doing audiobooks for the truck drivers out there, just like he used to listen and I used to listen to people on the radio.
I've only done short stories. I've only done short stories audio so far.
Well, let's keep the truck drivers awake, I guess.
If they want to listen to them.
Well,
I haven't. I haven't tried to sell them. I put a couple on YouTube, and then I say them out on my show on Monday nights if I got one ready.
Yeah, that YouTube's gotten to be the thing. I even do that at night. I'll watch something I want to watch that I saved on the TiVo or box. I guess it's still called the TiVo. I don't know. It's MediaCom. And they came in and changed everything out when I got hacketed by the Chinese people. It wasn't the Russians. It was the Chinese, at least in my life. So I'm not affiliated with any government agencies, folks. But you'd think I was, the way I got hacked. Like I knew something. I think it's... Ahmed, do you think that we really may be keeping secrets from people with the UFO Association? Are we really?
Our government? Yes, hell yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess what's in the vaults
They're
we'll
just
never
now
get.
starting to release stuff that the military knows about. I mean, with these with the Navy, and I think it's soft disclosure. They're getting us prepared for whatever's to come.
Yeah, I think people like Philip K. Dick was getting it direct. And we're going to have to separate all our topics in our UFO Association. Now, were you always in the UFO Association, or you never joined any of them? Because ours has taken over all of the old guys, the old timers. Dr. Bruce Maccabee, he helped train people.
No, I've never joined any of them things like that. I've been into UFOs since the early 70s, if not 60s.
My brother was, but I wasn't. But I
used to buy the magazines and read them.
Which
that they
one?
sold.
Was
I
Fate
remember
magazine?
UFO, flying saucers, any kind of the knockoff ones that were out there.
Oh, okay. Did they have any really real pictures in them, or were they all? Today it's photoshopped, isn't it? I mean, you don't know
just about Photoshop.
Well, it's good
I do that myself. I could make a UFO and you'd never know it wasn't really there. Paint shop and Photoshop's pretty unique programming.
Yeah, so really everything in cyberspace these days that they're picking up on their phones and looking at and reposting is somebody
suspect.
Created it.
Yeah, it's suspect. Even with somebody, you can literally make somebody say whatever you want with the right programming.
Oh, that's a good subject. Who was talking something in the last 24 hours? Folks, I had everything planned around talking with these guys and all the files, so I didn't do my homework. So shame on me. I have to open up some of my notes over here on whatever I'm working on, and we can talk about it. But I'm going to just sort of talk mainstream general. Mad, what is the deal lately? People are talking about you in Facebook, because Facebook's like that, and for old people anyway, not the kids. They do Snapchat and Instagram and I don't know what else, but in Facebook, it's gotten to be where all these they made sure they got it where businesses were posting, but they can charge for ads, and then they got people from all over the world, but they're huge. Look at the list of where all you can get Facebook, right? So, but it's
worldwide.
It is worldwide. So I remember when I was driving cross country, and I'd see national, and then I'd see international, and I'd see global, and I'd see them on the side of trucks that I was parked next to, and then here I was, little bitty ace, like I would be. I started out with FFE, Frozen Food Express, and their drive van company was American Eagle. So I like the word American, and I like Eagle, American Eagle, and then I went to U.S. Express, I believe. U.S. Express was United States, right? And then his brother owned Covenant Transport. They were both in Tennessee and Chattanooga. So I drove for them and got to go in. And that's where I started really getting good on the computers and pushing buttons and watching people driving along the freeways. I don't know if people knew you could do that. I didn't know you could do that, sit at a computer and watch people on the freeways, but they did. They showed it to me. Now, that was not the military. That was civilians.
Yeah, you can find live cams everywhere. You can even watch Bourbon Street.
That was in the 90s, early 90s. So 97 we were watching, because that's the year Stanton Friedman was going to the 50th anniversary in Roswell, and he and I were talking back then. So, wow, I've talked to Stan a long time in my life. I sort of miss him, but that's okay. He was a good man. So tonight is a lot about the people that have been in the business, and, we're going to have a memorial board for our veterans that have been UFO people and investigators and researchers